Welcome to Medically Speaking. My guest today is Andrew Bennett from the Children's Hospital of Buffalo Foundation. Andrew, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you having me.
I want to talk about the relationship between the foundation and the Buffalo Bills today, but if we can, let's start with you. How long have you been in your role, and what's the mission of the foundation?
Absolutely. I've been in this role almost 4.5 years now, and our mission is to support the care, the technology, programs and services provided by the incredible teams at Oshai Children's Hospital.
And so part of that role that you have is leveraging some of the relationships that the hospital and the foundation have had. And one of those is the Buffalo Bills, a longstanding partner with the hospital. Talk to us a little bit about how you've activated that partnership and how that's evolved in the last couple of years.
Well, I really have to first give credit to the team here at the foundation. We've done so much work together collectively with the team at the Bills to really leverage the importance of the relationship. We started to really build a different cadence and communication with the team at the Bills, and really thinking about each step of the way, even in the off season. How are we introducing ourselves to different relationships, different partners, and what we've come to now is every time a partner kind of comes into their umbrella, there's a philanthropic twist to it, or a philanthropic consideration. So we've developed a great level of trust and respect on both sides. And anytime something comes up where it might be able to benefit the hospital, we're in constant communication around that. So it's really a two-way street to make it successful.
And in terms of benefiting the hospital, tell us a little bit more about that. Is this for visibility strictly? Is it for fundraising? Is it for just overall awareness of the hospital? What does that leveraging look like?
Sure. It's really everything that you just mentioned. The simplest example would certainly be player visits. Of course, those took a backseat during 2020 and part of 2021. Our Bills bandwagon, which we work with the Bills community relations team on, which is literally a small bandwagon that goes throughout the hospital, room-to-room visits with our child life team, all the way to things like giveaways, T-shirts during the season for staff. So there's the internal aspect of it, which is really about our patients, our families, and our staff. And then there's the external component, which is about increasing philanthropic and financial support for the hospital, which we've seen just skyrocket these past couple of years.
So in terms of the Bills and their activity and their involvement, you could go back and look at the hospital on Bryan Street. It seems like the Bills, the Sabres, and others have always been associated or have spent time at the facility. Why do you think it's so important for the Bills to be involved in the day-to-day operations of Children's?
For many of us, lifelong Buffalonians, everyday folks, we look at the Bills brand and the Bills as kind of our hometown heroes in a way. And as the team has gotten even better and in a higher profile, their presence and their sort of lifting the spirits, in person is a really big deal. You go to a game and you can't really interact with them. So to meet these folks up close and to kind of get to know them a little bit, it means a lot for everybody at the hospital.
Let's get into one of those hometown heroes, in particular, Josh Allen. So a lot of notoriety about the Patricia Allen Fund and Josh's activity with the hospital, but that didn't start in the last year or so. If you can, take us back to how that relationship began and what was the goal when you guys came together.
Josh had a bit of a history back in California of working with young people and supporting them, especially kids who maybe were struggling from a medical standpoint. And it really seemed like a natural fit. So we got together with Josh, and he was really excited to learn more about the hospital, and really wanted to come visit and meet some of the staff and the patients. And we ended up doing that in the spring of 2019. I recall that meeting. He specifically said, if I fumble the ball, I pick it up and I run with it. He said, if you fumble the ball, talking to the hospital team, that's someone's life in your hands. So his perspective on it was was really cool from the start. And from there, we've been able to just kind of grow organically what that relationship looks like.
Take us through what that relationship evolution has looked like in terms of Josh's visits and his interest in the hospital to the Patricia Allen Fund, and how that took a viral life of its own.
Sure. So really through 2019, the visits early on were very organic, and then things kind of turned into virtual visits, which were still great for the kids to see him and talk to him. And he was wearing an O'Shea hat when his grandmother had passed away in the Seattle Seahawks game back in fall of 2020. He was wearing that during the press conference, and the upside to that is that certainly we were on his mind. He was proud of the relationship, proud of the partnership, but that simple act of wearing our brand led to a whole series of things which continue almost 2 years to this day through the Patricia Allen Fund.
So that viral moment when some of the folks from the Bills Mafia, the fan base, suggested people start donating to children's and honor Josh's grandmother to today. Give us a sense of what the dollars look like in terms of that first game versus where we are now.
It was pretty late at night when this started to unfold. There was a gentleman out of Albany who suggested giving $17, and within 10 days, it was close to $500,000, and by Christmas, maybe 4 weeks later, 5 weeks later, it hit $1 million.
Yeah, let's wrap up with the last question and talk about the staff and patients. All that work with the Bills and people like Josh, and the time that they spend, and the relationship that you guys are able to leverage. What does that do for the staff and patients there at the hospital?
It really lifts their spirits, especially during the last couple of years. Anything that we were able to do with the Bills, whether it was Josh Allen related or otherwise, whether it's a visit, whether it's a giveaway, whether it's an opportunity to attend a game through the partnership, it all makes a huge difference in creating that sense of pride and ownership over this relationship from everybody involved.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Well, good luck on the upcoming season, as well as the foundation, the team, and all the work that they do there. So thank you for all of that as well.
Great, thank you. Go Bills and go OCH.